Hey, hi there, it's Rebecca Marina Messenger, and this topic is about, guess what? Twin flames. Now, I did a broadcast about this earlier today, but the sound was not clear enough. So, I'm going to present it again. Now, I have made some notes in my journal, which I'm going to be referring to. So, let's talk about twin flames. What's a twin flame? According to many experts, a twin flame is the other part of your soul. Perhaps you made an agreement to split your soul and you came in this body and the other part of your soul came in another body. Sometimes the other part of your soul stays on the other side and sometimes you incarnate together. Well, of course, don't you know the goal is to find your twin flame if you even have one. There's a couple of experts I'm going to refer you to who are much better experts than me. One is Patricia McNeely, and the other is Lindy Cowling. You can look for them on YouTube. But this is my take, and this is my personal experience. So, I didn't really think I had a twin flame, but I ran into them, and guess what? When you do find that other part of yourself, there's a sense of coming home. It feels so good to be with them. You crave it. Now, here's the thing. Say you're all happy to find your twin flame and you're ready to get together. And usually when twin flames get together, it's for some kind of service to humanity. But guess what? They're not. They can blow hot and they can blow cold. Often they don't understand about twin flames. They understand that there's an intense attraction which can cause intense emotion. And a lot of times your other part runs away and hides, and then they come back, and then they run away and hide. It would be wonderful if you suddenly got together and everything was peachy keen. Now, a twin flame could also be not necessarily a romantic, just someone that you unite with for the greater cause of humanity. So here's some notes from my perspective. Well, when you've honored and honored and honored the other partner and they have not honored you, when you choose time and time again to be with them and they don't choose to be with you, it can cause a lot of agony, because being with your twin flame is the highest of the high and the lowest of the low. So here's some things you can do. And by the way, I've pretty much done all these. Number one, you can continue to ride the roller coaster. And you can continue to make all kind of excuses for them. And of course, you can love them from afar. That's one thing. You can just keep on doing that. And another thing you can do is just step back and give them all the time they need. And if you can do this, good for you. Often, I think we forget that we need to honor ourselves first. Maybe our soul did split apart, but who's supposed to be taking care of the part that we chose to be? We are. So, I had an idea. You could either sever that soul contract, which is kind of drastic, but why not just sever your expectations? Sever your expectations and realize the work that you meant to do together could have already been done. Maybe you were to spend a few hours together, and in that spending time together, you awaken codes with each other. Maybe they need another 5 days, another 5 weeks, another 5 years. Maybe you just need to let them have all the time they need while not expecting anything, because maybe, like Lindy Cowling says, maybe you plan for a plan B or plan C. So, how do you know that you agreed to live together as partners? How do you know that just the knowledge that you have a twin isn't enough? You don't know. Here's what I do know, that when you're jerked back and forth by their hot and coldness, it can cause you a lot of grief. So, how would you sever your expectations? Here's an exercise. So, you've been expecting them to step up to the bat, to the plate, whatever. You've been holding them accountable, maybe in spirit, and nothing is happening. And as long as you're in this state of expecting and waiting and kind of holding your breath, it feels like you put your life on hold. But if you can just sever those expectations, from my experience, you're going to feel so much better. It's like taking 1,000 pounds off you, because there's nothing worse than knowing someone is your twin and feeling that rejection, that they don't want you. They're not ready for you. They're not ready for service to humanity. Well, you are. So here's an exercise. Close your eyes. So close your eyes and call their soul into a circle of light. Call their name out loud. Nobody's watching. It's just me and you. And then just imagine that you're also calling their personality into a circle of light. And just use your imagination and imagine that they're both showing up, the soul and the personality. And you can repeat after me if you'd like. I acknowledge that you are my twin. I am ready to be united. I am ready for greater service to humanity. And yet, I respect that you may not be ready. And therefore, I sever my expectations of you. I honor our soul agreement. I ask that you honor our soul agreement. And yet, I must take care of this part of my soul. And just imagine there's this cord that's tied from you to them, and that you yourself take scissors and just cut that cord away from your heart. And when you do that, it's just this big relief that you're in divine surrender and you're giving them to the divine as well. And the other end of the cord, it's up to them to do what they wish with it. Just toss that over into the circle of light. And just send them loving thoughts and loving kindness. There's no need to get all into blame. We never know when another soul is ready, or the other part of our soul. And so just give out a big sigh of relief. And just come into that state of divine surrender. And you've just created a vacuum for spirit to fill with something else. Maybe it's greater love for your own work, your own service to humanity. Maybe it's more friends. Maybe it's even another love that acts you and is ready for you. Maybe it's plan B or plan C. Maybe it's just a feeling of peace that you have done all that you could do, and that if this person is meant to come back, they will come back of their own free will, and because they decided to honor that soul agreement. This is Rebecca Marina Messenger. I urge you to subscribe to my channel if you like messages like this. I only teach about things I have personally been through. And sometimes it's not a whole lot of fun. But I tell you what, getting that big old burden off your chest is so wonderful. In the comment section, let me know how I can be of service to you. God bless.